Kicsoda? Na jól van, takarodjatok a ezt nem hiszem el, jó, ő is nagyon jó. Ő is nagyon jó, de magádba. Let's go!
Oh man, you know, this is the best gaming community in the world, hands down.
Jó, letiltok minden izét, jó? Minden alertet letiltok, de megköszönöm azért, jó? Köszönöm, arigató.
Hello BlizzCon.
Hello BlizzCon. Sziasztok, srácok.
To be back in person finally.
Fuck yeah! Magyar fordítás? Hát majd...
I love you too. All of us at Blizzard have missed this so much.
Fuck yeah, bitch.
4 years. It's been 4 years. You know what I say to that?
Ember, ezt mondom mindenkinek, hogy kurva rég nem volt IRL BlizzCon, geci.
Where's our heroes of Overwatch
Let's go, bitch.
Adventurers of Sanctuary?
Sanctuary. Let's go. Szia Nori, megy, szia Flex. Azt figyeld, hogy ülnek ott. World of Warcraft, bitch.
Sharing what we're working on all the time.
Szavasz Gerino.
But to share it in person
Szia
with all
Norbi.
of you and to hear your stories, it cannot be matched. Meeting you all face to face inspires us. And we
Internet
put
milyen
this
srácok,
energy
jó?
and enthusiasm back into
Elmegy,
everything
elmegy.
we do. Thank you all for being here.
Egyszer eljutok oda, srácok. Azt a kurva. Illidan Stormage, köszönöm szépen az első feliratkozásodat. Big love. A végén felolvasok mindenkit úgyis. Köszönöm szépen. Köszönöm Illidan Storm. Illidali Storm, bocsánat. Welcome here, bro. Szia V8. Szia Talistra. Egyszer eljutok ide, srácok. Egyszer kirakok egy gólt, $1000 gól. Kivisztek engem. Hardcore vagy casual játékosok vagytok.
We're here to show you the Blizzard we are today and the Blizzard we are becoming. But BlizzCon isn't just about the latest
nyugi van, Jimmy.
Blizzard. It's all about you. Players are at the forefront of everything we do, and we're devoted to supporting these incredible communities. Communities you can be proud of to be part of.
Na most arról van szó, hogy köszöntünk mindenkit. Mindenkinek tök jó, hogy végre itt vagyunk. Szavasz Kulobási. Tehát most arról beszélünk, hogy annyira jó, hogy mindenki összegyűlt, és lehet, hogy csapattársak vagytok, lehet, hogy szeretők vagytok, lehet, hogy szexeltetek együtt folyamatosan, mindenkit üdvözölnek. Our players have made connections that span continents, languages, and generations. We all have that one story, that incredible play of the game, that clutch card draw, or that raid encounter that your guild barely survived. Igen. Tehát, hogy mindenkinek van egy sztoria a játékból, hogy nem sikerült egy guildet lemenni, meg ilyenek. Csomó sztori, srácok. A friend who began just as someone we hung out with in game, but who was there for us to celebrate our real life wins or to support us during a difficult time. That's certainly been true for me. Thanks to my experience playing Blizzard games over the last 25 years, I've met most of my best friends from all over. Innen ismerte meg a legjobb haverjait. I'm so grateful that some of them are here today. És hogy többen itt vannak a közül. Igen. Tehát ő raid wipe-oltak itt egy csomó. Ez még mindig ugyanaz, amit mondtam. Ugyanazt mondja, csak máshogyan. Szavasz Lolo. Amerikába. Los Angeles. Azt hiszem. Nagyon drága. Szia, Arkores, jó napot!
Köszönöm a támogatásokat, srácok, Big Love, jó? Alert nem lesz, de utána úgyis felolvasom majd. Ez kb. 4 órás esemény szerintem nekünk. Most azt mondja, hogy ugye vannak bajok, hogy valami nem működik olyan jól, mint kéne, de szerencsére feedbackek alapján próbálnak megcsinálni jóra a játékot. Hát nagyjából végignézzük, igen.
Many of you may have heard the recent news about Blizzard joining the Xbox gaming family.
Xbox Gaming Family Boy. Isten, Microsoft.
Both Blizzard and Xbox believe that gaming is a unifier.
Microsoft, dude.
We should all be able to play anywhere and any way we want to play. That when the creativity of some of the best developers, artists, and storytellers in the world is fearlessly unleashed, everyone wins. With that in mind, someone is here backstage who'd like to say hello.
Valaki itt van, hogy mondja, hogy hello. Valaki bejön. Valaki bejön. Csak a PS. Na, csak nem a troll lesz. Microsoft Gaming. Na. CEO, bazd meg. Microsoft Gaming CEO, bazd meg. Úristen. Ott a Microsoft, srácok. Nem azért mondom, de ezt vártam. Ezt akartam, hogy ez legyen, akármi is lesz most. Tapsoljál. Elon Musk. Habiszti Elon Musk a gyerek, geci. Habiszti Elon Musk, így jön be. Tapsolgassál, bazd meg.
This is my first BlizzCon ever.
Az biztos, te rohadék.
And it's great to feel the energy in the room. You are the reason we make games. Your love for these games truly is inspiring. I recently have spent so much time playing Diablo IV with my friends.
Most azt mondja, hogy Diablo 4-ezettek a haverjaival. Szezon 2. Most azt mondja, hogy nagyon jó lesz a Diablo 4 továbbra is. Throughout Blizzard's history, they've pioneered and refined so much across the gaming industry, and many of you here today have been a part of that journey. Think of Diablo. It propelled the action RPG genre forward. Diablo 1-en nevelkedett a gyerek. Starcraft, bitch.
Spawned the foundation of what esports would eventually become. And with StarCraft 2, it was a major catalyst for the evolution of games as live entertainment.
Chris Metzen meg fog jelenni szerintem, fixen mondom. World of Warcraft, bitch.
Changed not only how people developed and supported games, but really it introduced a much wider audience to the concept of online communities. And Overwatch.
Yeah.
Not only reimagined gameplay, but also the representation possible in class-based shooters. Blizzard's influence is everywhere.
Blizzard mindenhol ott van. Szia, Nabi, jó napot kívánok.
With a care and a craft that is incredibly rare in this industry. Our commitment at Xbox is to bring more great games to more players in more places.
Még több embernek, még több helyre.
Now that Blizzard is part of Xbox, we will nurture the essence of what has made Blizzard unique.
Bro, Blizzard unique, dude. Blizzard.
We're going to empower our new colleagues in a culture of trust, inclusion, and collaboration to continue what they do best.
Most nagyjából arról van szó, hogy ugye most már a Blizzard is Microsoftos, és akkor itt most nagyon komoly összegyűrések vannak, és megkeresik, hogy mi a legkirályabb az egész játékiparba. Szokásos.
It has been a privilege to welcome the teams at Blizzard to Xbox, and I'm honored to be able to be here to help welcome all of you to BlizzCon 2023.
Rendben, bro. Nézzük, mi lesz. Ajánlom is, boys. Szavaz Timon, Spumba. Még nem, még csak üdvözöltek mindenkit. Tapsoljatok, srácok, gép előtt, jó? Hát, ha jó lesz. Bízunk benne. Bízunk benne. Peace, bro. Szavaz Illuminált. Jó, tehát arról volt szó, hogy végig csatlakoztak, és akkor egy köszöntő, hogy szavaztok, srácok, ennyi.
You know, part of what makes this such an exciting time for Blizzard is that we've never been more empowered, free, and dedicated to holding true to what makes Blizzard unique than we are today. We are accountable for creating this next chapter of Blizzard with all of you. We take this responsibility very seriously as we learn, grow, and get better every day.
Azért, hogy nagyon komolyan veszik, és minél jobb legyen a játék, ezt akarják. Ez a terv. Új barát, és régi barátok. Hú, boy. Chris Metzen. Yeah, let's go.
Before I go, I want to take a moment to thank our Blizzard team.
Blizzard team, köszönet. Jaj, hagyjuk már! Elkönnyezi magát, figyelj! Jaj! Úristen, oda verhanjak! Persze! Persze, bazd meg! Hagyjad már magadat!
You are some of the most talented individuals on the planet, and collectively,
meg akarja köszönni a Blizzard teamnek, hogy ott dolgoznak, mert mindig meg tudjátok, a jó kis bulik, a felcsatolós fasz meg ezek. Megkönnyezik azért ezeket.
Thank you for everything you do. BlizzCon, many of the Blizzard team are here today, and they're working hard to ensure you enjoy your time here. We all love talking to players, so please don't be shy. Come up and chat with us. Finally, on behalf of everyone at Blizzard, we want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Mindenkinek megköszönte, és nagyon őszintén jön neki. És a playereknek is megköszönni, hogy itt vagyunk. Ion Hazikosztász legyen. Ennyit kérek, hogy Ion Hazikosztász létszi legyen. Ion Hazikosztász, boy. Úristen, túl. Egészségetek, srácok. Let's go, BlizzCon. Tetést. Előléptetést a gyereknek. Ez szép volt. Szép volt, boy. Nézőrekord? Debnek kilcsém. Jó napot mindenkinek. Ki ez a beöltözött csaj? Ja, ez a klasszikos csaj.
Wow.
Ez klasszik. It's classic, boy.
Oh, I'm so excited to see you all here. This is fantastic.
Classic, boy.
Well, can you believe we've been playing World of Warcraft for almost 20 years?
30 éve játsszuk ezt a csöves játékot. Pofátlan, bazd. Ja, nem 20. Mindjárt 20 éve játsszuk, geci.
And we raced home to install those WoW discs one by one.
Let's go, let's go. Klasszik, szerintem ez klasszik most. Hát most arról beszélt a csaj, hogy izé. Hát most ilyen megemlékezések. Arthas, Troll, Sylvanas, tudjátok, az ilyen hogy minden tök jó. Na nézzük. What is it? That's word. Na jó, most fölállok. That's word, bro. That's word, dude.
And so have we, particularly
That's
in the past
word.
year. The entire team across both modern and classic have embraced their community.
Köszönöm, Gerzsön, az 5. hónapot.
Listening to your voices.
Jó napot kívánok, köszönöm.
My friends at
That's word, dude.
Now is the perfect time to prepare to close chapters, open new ones, and double down on why we all fell in love with World of Warcraft in the first place.
Gyerünk. World of Warcraft első helyen. Let's go.
With that in mind, let's get to it. As many of you know, WoW
Szóval
Classic was
Zippo.
born out of the community's passion.
Let's go.
And of course, most of you know that still drives us today, like just in August, inspired
Na
by our
nézzük,
community.
mi lesz?
We released
Hardcore.
Classic Hardcore.
Bankai. Double bankai, zérós írás. Szétbaszom a szádat. Hardcore, bro.
So, in Hardcore, you only get one life. And if you
Egy
die,
életed van hardcore-ba, és 60 után.
you may cry, you
60
may have to
után.
replace the keyboard, but
Let's
you
go, boy.
again. We've loved watching you take on the challenge or die trying. And because the hardcore community has asked, the team is planning to add a new way to play hardcore early next year. And last month in Wrath Classic, we released the Fall of the Lich King patch.
Ez mi ez? Ez a mostani patch, nem? Ez a mostani. Ugye? Nyugodjunk meg. Nyugodjunk meg.
Where are we gonna go next? We read through a lot.
Kata.
And I mean a lot of your feedback
Kata bejön.
on social media forums, and we sent out
Kiugrok az ablakon.
And here at BlizzCon,
Na?
we're happy to announce
Na?
Cataclysm is coming.
Ott a kata, geci. Gyerek azt mondja, nem lesz kata, geci. Mi van, te csöves bánat? Ott a kata, te kutya. Boy, bitch. Ott a kata, bazd meg.
So now, let's jump into the Wayback Machine and get a reminder of all things Cataclysm.
Ott a kata. Na nézzük, milyen cinematik van rá alá. Let's go, dude! Ez háborús időszak, gyerekek. Háborús időszak, annyit mondok. Háborús időszak. Háborús időszak, gyerekek. What a best kieg. Visszamegyek gémelni. Júj, ott van a Mythic Plus dungeonünk. Vortex Pinnacle. Megfogadtam, és nem sírok. Figyeljetek, én elmondok nektek valamit, jó? Ennek ha vége, elmondok valamit. Bocsi. Shall burn, bitch. Let's go, dude. Deathwing. Durgeci, a cinematik komoly nagyon. Az a Night Elf, gyerekek. Üstör az a Night Elf, öcsém. 85-ös maxint. Hydra. Nagyon jó ez a cinematik. Fogadjunk, hogy ez a izét csináld, ezt a cinematikot? Azért kell Lich King-eset csinált a srácok. Rádobnék egy izét. Egy doboz aranymalborót. Egy doboz aranymalborót rádobok. Csávó felvételt kapott a Blizzardhoz. Csíú, geci, a kurva anyát. Nagyon jó ez a cinematic, geci. Hogy verjem a szájába. Az kemény, geci. Ez erős. Jól, muter. Szí, ez füstöl ez a cinematic. Figyelj, igazából elmondom, hogy én nem hiszem, hogy fogok katázni, de nagyon örülök, hogy van rá lehetőség. Úgyhogy it's okay, bro. It's okay, dude. Csöves papíros a társulban, szóval nem volt rossz.
I love the passion, by the way. Get ready, my friends,
the passion.
The road to Deathwing's destruction is coming in the first half of next year.
Next year, jövőre jön.
All right.
Első felébe jövőre.
Now, over the past 4 years of Classic, we've watched you master the vanilla experience. And we've loved it. So much of that we thought we'd add some unique flavor with a seasonal note and a dash of discovery. Season of Discovery is vanilla WoW with a spicy twist. You're going to discover new secrets as you scour the world and find class-altering abilities.
Season of Discovery. Eddig még semmi. Ez most csak a klasszik. Most jön a retail majd.
Or take on the role of a mage healer.
Mage healer.
In Season of Discovery, you
Tessék?
can.
Micsoda? Mage healer? Mi van?
The season is going to launch with an initial level cap of 25. And when you hit that max level, you'll be met with the brand new level 25 endgame.
Micsoda?
You'll discover a brand new 10-player Black Fathom Deeps raid with new and reimagined bosses, mechanics, and of course, rewards.
Black Phantom
Deeps.
Deeps.
After a couple of months, we'll raise the level cap a bit. You'll find even more endgame content, and so it will go. If you're here at BlizzCon, you can play the Black Fathom Deeps raid in the Warcraft Hall.
Lehet játszani élőbe, a kurva anyukat. Élőbe lehet játszani.
If you love Classic or just a little intrigued about what exactly a Warlock tank can do,
ez valami kell?
Check it out.
Ez mi a fasz, bro?
For all of you watching online, don't worry. You won't have to wait long to play.
A klasszokat megváltoztatják ebbe az új szezonba. Healer, mage, meg ilyenek. Tank Warlock? Mi a fasz, bro?
WoW Classic Season of Discovery launches in a few short weeks on November 30th.
November 30-án kezdődik. Mi van veled, tesó? November 30.
For more information on the Season of Discovery and Cataclysm,
ez valami új, igen.
Don't miss the Classic panel this afternoon. All right, now it's time to talk to my Dragon Riders in Modern.
Dragon Riders! Ion Hazikostas hol van? Ion Hazikostas hol van, bazd meg? Takarodjál innen! Ion Hazikostas most! Addig nem ülök le. Addig nem ülök le, amíg Ion Hazikostas nincs itt. Ion Hazikostas most azonnal, addig nem ülök le. Nem ülök le, tesó. De jó az a jobb oldali csaj. Jobb oldali Night Elf waifu.
A shout out to my elves. It is finally our time.
Let's go. Ezek az elfek jók nagyon.
1 week later, season 3 will start with the last raid of the expansion. There we will have our final showdown with Farak and defend our new world tree. But fear not, that's not the end of our time in the Dragon Isles. There's a lot more to come in Dragonflight that will serve as both the epilogue of this story and the bridge to our next one.
No.
Like I said earlier, we are evolving. We are changing our approach to this big, beautiful game.
Mi van?
And how we look ahead to new
Gyerekek, ez WoW 2. Ez WoW 2, bazd meg.
It's time for a new adventure.
Ez WoW 2.
One that has grown from the very seeds of what captured our hearts when we first set foot in AZEROTH. For veteran players, the last 20 years have led us to
Mi ez, bazd meg?
And for those who have yet to join us, now is the time. And who better to talk about the first step in this journey?
Gyerünk! Jöhet, gyere! Nem ülök le, tesó! Ion hazikosztász, mindenki megőrül, bro.
Then someone who carved the path in the
Hadd
first
halljam.
place. Everyone, please welcome my friend and the executive creative director of the Warcraft
Kicsoda?
universe, Chris Metzen.
Na jól van, takarodjatok a faszomba, Geci. Nem hiszem el, jó, ő is nagyon jó. Ő is nagyon jó, de szopja le magát, bazd meg. Szopj le magadat, bazd meg. Jó, azért gratulálunk neki, de... Jó, oké. Jó, oké. Jó, tudjuk, hogy nagyon szeretjük őt is. Tudom. Ő a legjobb, tudjuk.
What up, BlizzCon?
Kurva jelve.
Holy smokes! Horde, where you at?
Bazd meg, látjátok azt? Az a logó, tesó. Az a logó. WoW 2. WoW 2, vagy valami nagyon beteg.
Thank you.
Ő troll hangja, igen. Ez egy köcsög amúgy. Nagyon szeretik, nagyon sokan. Na jó, most megszavaztatom. Jó, én is szeretem amúgy. Szerintem is nagyon unik a csávó.
It has been interesting this past year being back under the hood of World of Warcraft. It has reminded me of a few things. One, I love
Fú, geci. Mondjál jót, tesóm. Metten 2 új kieg.
You know what? I really missed this work. And number 3,
hiányzott neki a munka. Hiányzott neki ez a nagyon komoly munka, srácok. És a Blizzard család is hiányzott neki. Hiányzott neki a Blizzard családra minden.
As Holly said a bit ago, next year
de mi ez? De mi ez a logó? Én nem hiszem el ezt a logót. Hiányoztak a lányok, igen. Miraxor, köszönöm szépen a Prime-odat, bro. Arigato, köszönjük, hogy itt lőtted el. Üdv a szubok között. Nagyon aranyos vagy. Remélem Ion is megjelenik azért. Ion hazikosztasz. Fú, ez valami para lesz itt.
We started thinking about, well, I did, the good old days, right? And some of those
most arról beszél, hogy hogy régen milyen pacek volt minden. Szavasz RGB, szia apokalipszis, szia mindenkinek.
But still in a way feel a little unresolved. And in the mix of all that stuff, in the mix of all those ideas, particular things like, what the hell has Magni actually been babbling about all these years?
Magni mi a fasz csinált egész nap?
Was the thing that he came to warn us about in Battle for Azeroth, did it actually play out? Or is there potentially something darker still looming on the horizon? I don't know.
Dr. Orbán kieg.
Will there eventually be
mi az ott? Az egy old god.
An apocalyptic confrontation between the forces of the light.
Old god. A void.
Talk to me, BlizzCon. I'll tell you what, for nothing, my pal Maine, I'm all in on that kind of thing if it happens. It's gonna happen.
Szerintem az valami jogszalomféleség volt, de nem bőjük benne izé.
And really the big question for all the marbles.
Ez nagyon nagy volt ezek.
What have the Titans actually
Titans.
been doing since the dawn of civilization?
Erős a titán, erős a titán, erős a void, erős a light,
What is the
elun.
real purpose of all of their cute little installations slammed into the side of the planet? Do we know everything we need to know about their real intentions for our?
Most így fölvezeti amúgy, hogy milyen jók voltak a dolgok, meg ilyenek. Illidán is jöhet vissza.
All of
BlizzCon,
these hooks and 100 more. 68.
ez a sok mese,
A bunch more.
sok mese után, ezt mondja most.
All cooking in the pot. Started to reveal a storyline.
Egy storyline-t akar bemutatni.
Something epic.
Egy történetet.
Real epic.
Nagyon epic. Ez egy köcsög
A
amúgy.
storyline that in almost every way feels like the culmination
Címlök.
of the first 20 years of our storytelling.
Na,
A storyline
20
provided
éves.
we do our jobs, we do the
20
thing
éves történetmesélés.
that will vector us into the next 20
Ez lehetetlen.
years of
20 éves sztori mesélés, és most jön ki. Lehetetlen. Lehetetlen, bro, ilyen nincs. 20 éves storytelling, és azt mondja, hogy most itt vagyunk. Megjöttünk, azt mondja a gyerek.
Are you with me, BlizzCon?
Itt vagytok, BlizzConok, itt vagytok, srácok. Let's go.
We call this storyline the World Soul Saga.
Mi van veled, geci? World Soul Saga? Mi ez?
The
Ez
World
mi?
Soul Saga is so epic, as we covered.
Ez egy köcsög, ez egy buzi.
It
Na jó, ez jó.
cannot be contained
Ez egy
within
rohadék.
any single
Mi ez?
expansion. It is built to play out over multiple expansions over the next few years.
Több expansion évek alatt.
Come on now.
Jövőre jönnek még több expansion. Ez egy olyan build, hogy erre jön még egy csomó kiegészítő. Mi
Having
ez?
said that, we are working on multiple ways to deliver this adventure to you a little faster than you're used to.
Nem tudja már
We're not
többször
going to get into
elmondani.
it at this BlizzCon, forgive me. But keep your ears peeled.
Na
I
mutasd, te
assure
geci.
you, we are moving with purpose. And the last thing
Ígéretek.
we really want is
Ígéretek
for
vannak.
all to have your grandkids controlling your mouse and your keyboard trying to wrap this thing up. So
70 euró,
it's
igen.
coming.
Let's go. Nyomjad, te köcsög.
Also,
Na jó, ez nagy arc
given the
amúgy.
scale of this
Ez nagy arc ez
monster,
a csávó.
we have
Elfogadom.
decided to change it up today.
Na gyerünk.
Here we go.
Here we go, bitch.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ez egy rohadék.
Instead of just debuting your next expansion all on its lonesome, we have decided to give you a glimpse at your next 3 expansion sets.
3 expansion mutatnak be! 3 expansion mutatnak be! Ez lehetetlen. Ez lehetetlen.
Does this meet with your approval, BlizzCon?
Bejött a pénz. Azt mondja, hogy ezt ő ígéri meg, azt hiszem. Ezt ő garantálja
My
nektek.
friends, I'm going to warn you,
Ja nem.
there may be mild
Azt mondja, hogy ez
spoilers
jó
ahead.
lesz nektek. Ez jó lesz nektek, azt kérdezte.
Actually, I'm just kidding. They ain't mild. Buckle up.
Na, 3
Are you
expansion.
ready, BlizzCon?
Mi ez? Mi ez, geci? Let's go. Let's go, dude.
The first part of
Tudjuk
the World Soul
finanszírozni.
Saga. And your 10th
Let's go.
expansion is called
Az
World
első.
of Warcraft, The War Within.
The War Within. Az nem is egy kieg volt. Mi ez? Ez most a kieg.
In this chapter, you will be descending into the heart of
Szia,
AZEROTH
cataclysm napot.
itself, exploring new subterranean kingdoms and engaging with ancient cultures like
Ancient
the Earthen
kultúrák.
and the terrifying Nerubians of Azj-Kahet.
Nerubians, geci. Azt nagyon adom. Ez a következő? Ja, az lehet.
But as the forces of
Az lehet.
darkness close in around our precious world soul, You. Yeah, that's you. Will be called to do what you always do, which is
mit csinálunk mi mindig?
Dispense indiscriminate justice upon all those who got it coming.
Az igen.
Talk to me, BlizzCon!
Igazságot szolgáltatunk?
The second part of the World Soul Saga is
Second
called
part.
World of Warcraft
Midnight. Adom. Ez, hogy felkonferálja a köcsögön.
In this chapter, you will be returning, ready?
Midnight.
To the old world.
Gyerünk, let's go. Night elfek.
To the fabled lands of Quel'Thalas. There, the forces of the Void have invaded
Void, jöhet a Void is mellé. Tökéletes. Perfect. Perfect, bro. Sunwell, tesó. Úristen, dude. Gyerünk, ez jöhet.
Reunify the scattered elven tribes of AZEROTH, but you will make your stand with the forces of the light and banish the shadow.
Tesó, elfek, voidok, elun, Sunwell, mi kell még, gyerekek? Ez a kiegészítő, nem tudom, hogy ez mikor jön, vagy mi a faszom ez itt.
Of course, BlizzCon, it is AZEROTH.
3x20k, igen.
Things may not go to plan.
What?
Things may just spiral wildly out of control, leading us to the third part of the World Soul
Harmadik
Saga.
párt. Ez a World Soul Saga, ez három...
Warcraft, the last Titan.
The Last Titan, bro. Ezek mind nagyon jól hangzanak.
In this chapter, you will again be returning to the old world. This time, to the wintry lands of Northrend.
Northrend?
And there, at Ulduar, you will bear witness to the return of the Titans to AZEROTH.
Visszamegyünk az Titanökhöz megint?
And there, you will uncover a vast conspiracy.
Úristen.
One that stretches throughout the history of the world. One that will challenge everything you think you know about the Titans, their intentions, and the true nature of AZEROTH itself.
Az igazi valóságáról AZEROTHnak megtudunk dolgokat.
In time.
In time. Majd egyszer.
And it's called Silithus. There you go.
Silithus, na jó. És ott van a Silithus, a kard, geci. Na jó.
BlizzCon.
Idővel ezek
My
jönnek.
hope, our dear hope, is that you can see when it comes to WoW storytelling.
Na.
We ain't screwing around.
Hol a cinematic? Let's go. Ez eddig elég
We are
komoly.
playing for all the marbles. We are working to establish a thundering heartbeat for this franchise. Now.
Gyere rám, Oldgát. Most jön a cinematic, gondolom.
Now, BlizzCon. Hearken to me.
War Chief, geci.
Always wanted to say that.
Rohadt hordások.
Thank you. Whether you are
War
a
Chief.
current player, and I'm going to bet that most of you are, or maybe you jumped off the WoW train a few expansions ago, now is the time.
Is the time.
Home.
Hazajöjjünk. Idő van, hogy hazajöjjünk, srácok. It's time to go home, bro.
Now is the time to pull on your boots,
World Soul
pick up
Saga.
your broadsword or your favorite glowy staff,
Glowy
and
stuff.
get in this fight.
Na jó, valami nagy fight lesz, geci. És felvegyük a izéket.
AZEROTH needs her defenders now more than ever. Now.
Kell izé. Meg kell védeni az AZEROTHot.
We are going to give you a deeper look at the war within.
Most egy World Withinből kapunk egy deeper nézetet.
Something to chew on. I want to remind you all.
Ez a War Within az első kieg. Szerintem, nem tudom.
Very epic things can begin with small, heartfelt moments. What you're
Kis
about to
szív
see
izé.
is one of those moments.
Szívszorító érzetek.
BlizzCon.
200-an, szevasz, Noizé, köszönöm. Debet neki, boy.
Let the World Soul Saga begin!
Let's go, World Soul Saga. Akkor ez a kieg, gyerekek. Na nézzük. Mi ez a grafika? Kamud grafika. Úristen, gyerekek, itt valami lesz. Ez WoW 2, bazd meg, mi ez? Mi ez, dude? Nincs semmi a földön, bazd meg. Anduin. Zarándokúton van. Zarándokúton van az Anduin, bazd meg. Valaki megérkezett portállal, vagy valamivel. Valaki megjött. Ki az?
You're here to tell me we don't get to
Troll.
hide.
We don't get to hide.
You needed time. We stayed away. But time by itself heals nothing.
Az idő nem gyógyítja meg a sebeket.
You didn't just come here for me.
Nem csak azért jöttél ide, mert itt vagyok.
It's the visions.
A látások.
You've seen them.
Láttad őket.
I suspect many have lately.
Látott egy csomót mostanában. Mindenki halt, nagyon para.
Someone
Valaki,
is calling out from the heart of the world.
valaki kihívja a szívét.
Voice from a dream.
Júj!
Something dark is coming, and
Valami sötét jön.
the world needs your light again,
Kell a fényed megint, Anduin.
my son.
My son. Júj, gec. Mi komoly?
I am not that person anymore. I have no light.
Nincs fény benne már. Azt a
Not after
kurva.
what I've seen. Not after what I've done.
Amit csinált, azok után már nincsen benne fény.
You are not your past, Anduin.
Noizé, köszönöm az 5 subot. Arigato.
I trust you.
Köszönöm szépen. I trust you. Igen, mert nagyon nagy balhét csinált az Anduin Shadowlands-ben. Kurva nagy balhét csinált. Itt a hang.
They're getting worse.
Ez egyre rosszabb lesz, ez a hang.
Look. Whatever's coming.
Akármi is jön. Akármi is jön, itt leszek veled. Egyértelműen.
But we were drawn here by the voice. Who is it, Thrall?
Ki lehet az a hang?
Who's calling out to
Ki
us?
lehet az?
I'm not sure yet.
Nem tudja még pontosan. Valami jön, geci, már
But
megint.
that sword was aimed at someone.
Eljöttek a szarvér, geci! Ne, bro! Ezt nem hiszem el, úristen, na jó. Úristen, geci! Úristen, ezt nem hiszem el. Bro! Ott a kard, bazd meg. Valami a kard miatt felszabadult, geci. Sargeras, bazd meg, megidézett valamit, bazd meg a föld alatt.
I do have to say though, every time I see that cinematic, and I've seen it many times, it gets me right in my heart.
Ez nagyon komoly, ez a cinematic, geci.
And it feels like coming home. And we are so excited about where we are going. And now that you've seen or heard the overview for the World So Saga, let's talk about the war within. As we all gather and explore beneath the surface, we'll find an ancient Nerubian civilization.
Hát szerintem jövő karácsonyra már kijön.
They will be led by someone we were first introduced to.
Jövő karácsony ilyesmi.
Xal'atath, a harbinger of the void. The void brings destruction and darkness that threatens all light in our world. The last time we saw Xal'atath, she promised we would meet again. And it turns out she was right.
Aha, ez egyik ilyen valami Xal'atath, azt nem tudom, hogy ki az hirtelen.
Emanating from the heart of the world. Some are seeing something quite different.
Mi ez? Még valami?
My visions.
My visions, bro. Ez a voidokkal suttogó csaj.
Not the same as the others.
Dalaran, bro.
No radiance. No song.
Ott a void, bazd meg.
Just the shadow. Taunting me.
De komoly az a hely, geci. Azt a kúra, mi az a hely, te hülye? Új zóna, Azikahet. Pókokkal van teli, tesó. Lich King. Új zóna. Isle of Dorn. Nem rossz. Not bad. Új zóna. Ringing Deeps. Not bad as well. Új zóna. Hello Fall. Cool Tyrant Flash. Not bad. Anyád, mi az a kar? Az a karnak az alja, bazd meg. Szerintem. Vagy nem tudom. Warband, bazd meg, mint a izébe, te hülye. Warband, mint a Diablóba. Diablo 4-be. Harci csapat. 5 fős csapat, azt hiszem, vagy ilyesmi, gondolom. Új Dungeon and Raid.
The fate of our world rests.
A PS2 grafika. Pörgött az alán. Nem láttam amúgy, bazd meg. De jó ez a kis harcos. Azt a kurva. Azt nagyon adom, azt a izét, azt a boss, te hülye. Azt a kurva. Adom a boszt. Aliadrace is volt?
Alongside beautiful, unique underground zones, we will have challenging dungeons and raids and some new features too that are built to last. If you like exploring on your own with a couple of friends or family, we have delves. These are a variety of bite-sized experiences for 1 to 5 players that will offer endgame rewards.
Ha megint lesz valami.
You may also find in your delves a familiar character who's willing to fight alongside you.
Torgász féleség.
And if you're like me and you have an obsession with alts, we have warbands.
Warbands, ez tök jó, bro.
With this feature, you could treat all of your characters like family. And
family, bro.
Reputations,
ez jó, ezt adom, bro. Let's go! Let's go, bro. Warband, az nagyon kell, akármi is az. Az nagyon kell.
We're also introducing a new layer of customization for your class specs with hero talents. You might want to take your character
Master Hero talent.
Dark Ranger, let's say.
What?
Or a Farseer.
Master Hero talent.
Also, during your travels underground, you will meet the Earthen Dwarves, and you'll be able to unlock them as our new allied race.
Új allied race. Új allied race, bro. Melyik az?
I mean, who doesn't love a dwarf? The facial hair options are spectacular. There's so much more to talk about, so please join the What Next panel that's coming up right after the opening ceremony right here. What I can tell you, though, is that the call to get into the fight to save our world will ring out when the War Within releases next year.
Így van, next year, it's okay. Szerintem az év végén gondolom. Kb. Tesó, nagyon kemény.
Lastly, I sincerely want to say, we are so excited to begin this new journey with you. And from our hearts to yours.
Hát november.
Thank you for bringing our world to life.
Nice, bro. GG. Hát az így úgymond az év végén, igen, ilyen karácsonyra ilyesmi, én azt gondoltam volna. Innentől egy év.
Thank you to all the teams who presented today. There really is so much to look forward over the next 2 days. And this is only the beginning.
Mi lesz szerepukkal, nem tudom.
I can't wait to walk the halls of all of Anaheim with all of you. It is truly a joy to be here with the Blizzard team and our players. BlizzCon, be great to each other and enjoy the show.
Fú, geci, ez király, ez elég ütős volt. Xbox. Ez Diablo, nem? Mármint, hogy ez valami reklám, vagy valami, nem? Az hát. Az hát, bro. Ez az. Necromancer. Ez csak egy reklám szerintem. A srácok, külföldön ilyen reklámok mennek, nálunk meg megy a mosópor reklám, ez a különbség. Ezek a különbségek.
Please, end their terror.
Ja, úgyhogy ezt én megveszem majd instant szerintem. Most nem tudom, mivel jár a nagy csomag, azt nézzük már meg, jó? Mivel jár a nagy csomag például? Na nézzük. Itt a Traveler Tender, már adogatja a játék a Traveler Tendert. Nagyon kemény amúgy, srácok, hogy már ez ilyen van. Traveler Tender 1000, megkapod a World of Fire. Ó, megkapod a Dragonflightot is, figyeld már, hallod? Megkapod a Dragonflightot is. Tehát, nem, hogyha most megveszed ugye a preordert, akkor a Dragonflightot is megkapod már alapból. Tehát nem kell megvenned a Dragonflight-ot és utána a kiegészítőt, hanem megveszed 50 euróért most az egészet, és akkor megvan a kövi kieg, plusz megvan a Dragonflight is. Level 70-es karakter a sima, a Base Editionba. Gyerekek, ilyen már rég volt. Base Edition, level 70 boost. Ilyen nem volt már nagyon régen, oké? Van ez a Storm Rider Mount, Upgrade Storm Rider Transmog set, ez gondolom olyan, tudjátok, ilyen, mint amikor volt Shadowlands-ben és az a T-Mog set, it's okay. Azt mondja, bétát kapsz, a nagy csomagba kapod meg a bétát. Tehát, hogyha a legnagyobb csomagot veszed meg, akkor bétát is kapsz belőle. Ilyen, tudjátok, ilyen early access béta. 3 nappal előbb játszhatsz a játékkal. Ilyen van? 3 nappal előbb játszhatsz a játékkal, bro. Takarodjatok már a faszomba. Ilyen még nem volt. Ha a legnagyobb csomagot megveszed, ha 3 nappal előbb kezdhetsz el játszani? Dude, ez azért aljas. És 30 napos game time is csak a nagy csomaggal jár. Valamint kapsz egy petet a nagy csomagba, meg még egy valamilyen toyt, és valamilyen Hearthstone effektet, ez nem tudom mit jelenthet. Igen, mint a D4, ilyen nem volt. Nem, csak a D4-ben volt, a WoW-ban ilyen nem volt még szerintem, hogy 3 nappal előbb kezdted. A D4-ben ez volt a meta amúgy, ami itt van, igen, de a WoW-ban ilyen még nem volt szerintem. Na, tehát akkor ez tartalmaz a nagy csomag, hogy bétát kapsz, a legnagyobb csomag bétát kapsz, 3 nappal előbb játszhatsz, 30 napos game time, egy petet, egy HS-t, egy HS-t, egy petet, egy toyt is kapsz. Let's go, bro!
BlizzCon 2023. Over the next 2 days, there will be a series of 8 panels and presentations showcasing a variety of exciting new games and updates, led by some of Blizzard's amazing creators, artists, and designers. So, to kick it all off, here's our first presentation, World of Warcraft, What's Next?
What's next, bro? Jó, hol van már Ion? Nyugdíjba vonult? Mi van vele?
4 years have passed since the mortal races gathered together in Anaheim, California. And now the drums of BlizzCon thunder once again. Let me hear the thunder! Yes! Ah! Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the World of Warcraft What's Next panel. My name is Taryn Gregory, and as you may have heard, thank you. As you may have heard from Chris during the opening ceremonies, we are at the dawn of a new era of Warcraft.
New era of Warcraft,
the
yeah.
World Soul Saga.
World
A story that will play out
Soul
over the
Saga.
next 3 expansions and will take us on an adventure in World of Warcraft like we've never experienced before.
Na, erre
This saga
kíváncsi ezek
kicks
azért.
off with the War Within. In this first chapter, our heroes will be called on an expedition to the subterranean depths of AZEROTH, revealing a new world full of mystery, wonder, and darkness. There we will confront the shadows below and face new challenges on the battlefield as well as in ourselves. So what is next? During this section, I'll share an overview of the story of the War Within, and then next you'll hear from Maria Hamilton, who will speak to zones and cultures, and then wrapping up with Morgan Day, who will talk about dungeons, the raid, and our new systems.
Na, az új systemre kíváncsi vagyok. Új system, bro.
In our cinematic reveal, did you guys enjoy the cinematic?
Yeah. Jó volt a cinematic, tesó. Jó volt, tesó.
Big shout out to the cinematic team for their work on that. It's just incredible work.
Yeah, jó volt.
We witnessed as Thrall found Anduin Wrynn, who has been wandering alone for the last few years, grappling and lost in his own thoughts and dealing with the experience that he's been through, as many of you may have remembered. Throughout this and our features trailer, we learned 2 very important developments, starting with these visions. Thrall spoke of a vision calling out from the heart of the world.
Igen, valamilyen hangok jönnek ugye a földből.
This radiant song will compel our heroes to investigate its origins, and while at the same time, a darkness has been gathering. Even as the heroes adventured on the Dragon Isles, and in the War Within, the mysterious harbinger that Iridikron spoke of will reveal themselves. Xal'atath.
Hallod, ott volt nála egy Heart of Azeroth, geci. Xal'atath. Hallod, ez nem az a focis boss volt BFA-ba?
Freed long ago from the black blade that once bound her.
Nem tudom, ki volt ez a kurva.
She is now the harbinger of a new era of the Void's dark machinations. And her message is clear. The Black Empire has fallen. The old gods are dead. And their ancient blood runs deep within the cracks of the world.
Az old godok meghaltak állítólag.
We, the heroes of AZEROTH, destroyed them.
Megöltük őket. 3 kiegészítő új eszem jó.
And the Alliance have proven time and again they are among the most powerful armies that have ever stood. The harbinger has watched.
Volt már cinematic, igen.
She is patient. And while the Black Empire failed, Xal'atath now seeks to set in motion the rise of a new dark legacy. One that knows our true strength and will seek to test it against a new threat of terrible power, the Nerubians of Ashkahet.
Ez a Nerubian, ez komoly nagyon. Ez jó. Nerubian, ez gizda.
Having offered her people a new future, one in which they will rise from their isolation as a mighty kingdom once again. And here in this sprawling city of Ashkahet, we will not find the undead soldiers of the Lich King that we faced before, but instead a new, mighty stronghold of the Nerubians as they once were. Deadly survivors of the mythic wars that have played out time and again over thousands of years. In return for their loyalty, Xal'atath grants the Nerubians the means of a dark evolution.
Anyád, ilyen gyíkember, 4 keze van, geci. Lehet, hogy ez az Aliadrace? 4 keze van, bro.
Time and again in the War Within. Now let's talk about who we'll be adventuring with. How do you like the key art?
Ja, S-hába pokart, Shadow Priest-ek artifact fegyójába. Azt adom. Goró. Anduin. Egy kicsit öregedett az Anduin. Kiveri rá a gyerek. Nem ők lesznek? Jó.
While Thrall is seeking a connection to these visions, spreading across the world and working to find his new place in the Horde. While Magni Bronzebeard, long the speaker of AZEROTH, will confront the heavy weight of that responsibility
Magni
once
Bronzebeard.
And for all.
Illidan.
Champion! The wounds champion!
Illidan nincs.
Yes!
Champion. Itt van még 6
That
quest.
brings us to, I know you saw this in the features trailer, Alaria Windrunner.
Ezt adom, ezt is. Aléria, az kiadja.
Alaria's journey will be central to the events of the themes of the War Within, as she, a void hunter, will use all of her prowess to hunt down the Harbinger while being torn between her own nature and the maddening call of the void.
Igen, ez kemény amúgy, ez nagyon komoly volt, amikor ez a csaj megjelent, úgymond. Amikor elkezdett Void befolyásos lenni, ez a csaj, az nagyon kemény volt.
Of course, we'll see many more familiar faces on our journey and meet a host of new and interesting characters along the way that Maria is going to tell you more about in just a moment. But finally, this saga is only just beginning.
Ez még csak most kezdődik, ez a cucc. A kard.
Yes! Conceived to be an epic worthy of the first 20 years of World of Warcraft,
Ez a madár,
the World Soul Saga aims to redefine the storytelling in our expansion set and strike boldly at the core themes that define Warcraft. The might of heroes, the responsibility of that power, the pursuit of justice. Got to do my best Metzen there. Justice! And the importance of finding common ground as well as ourselves amidst adversity. Up next, may I introduce Maria Hamilton, who will be sharing more about our zones and cultures in the War Within.
Na, jön a zónás csaj. A zónás csaj, meg kultúrák, meg ilyenek. Most jön valami csaj. Vagy csávó, vagy mi ez? Jó, ez egy csaj.
Hello, BlizzCon! Wow, I am so excited to be here and delighted to represent our team and tell you about the places that we will explore and the cultures we will encounter in the War Within. I can't really see all of you out there. I know there's a lot of you, though, because I can hear you. And I hope to hear lots of oohs and ahs when you see some of this cool art I've got to show you. So let's get started.
Bőrcseki rajta van azért Resident Evil-ös bőrcseki.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Okay. As Taryn mentioned earlier, we'll be called by the Radiant Song, dreamlike visions that come from the heart of the AZEROTH. This summons is going to lead us to the subcontinent of Khazalgar, a place long forgotten.
Pandária mellett van balra? Jerem, jobbra van fönt. Mindenem.
Concerning a contingent of Earthen that was sent to this place long ago to investigate a fissure in the sector. What exactly that means, we don't really know, but we can probably speculate. So first, let's talk about
Pandária mellett. Earthen, ez a kultúra.
There you go.
Egy új csoport. Dwarfok.
All right, we have met Titan-forged Earthen before, of course, in Ulduar and other places. But this society of Earthen has been isolated within Khazalgar for
Mi a fasz? Plét mindenkire? Úristen.
Their own manners and customs.
Lehet témogolni mindent? Kicsit pervers.
And they're noticeably blinged out. They've got gems all over them, bedazzled, blinged out, you know, that kind of thing, right? But philosophically, they are guided by the edicts of the Titans.
Ezek ilyen dwarfok.
Codified orders, duties, and expectations that provide instructions for the core functions of their society. You know, Titans, order,
ilyen Dark Island dwarf-szerűk, gondolom. Ilyen titánok. Most titán dwarfok. Valami ilyesmi.
They now exist as three groups that are estranged from each other. The Oathsworn, as their name suggests, still uphold the edicts faithfully and believe everyone else is doing it wrong. Their charge is guarding the Core Way, a Titan passageway that leads right to the core of AZEROTH. They're primarily the city dwellers. They live conveniently near the object of their responsibility, that Core Way. Now, the Unbound, in contrast, have abandoned the edicts, and they are considered scandalously rebellious by the Oathsworn. Their original responsibility was providing the materials to keep the Titan installation supplied. And they're primarily rural. They're living in and around the quarries and the mines where natural resources can be acquired. They rarely interact with the city dwellers. They feel neglected and ignored because they have a different opinion on how they should live. Now, the machine speakers have strayed from the edicts in practice, but not with respect to their overall obligation to keep the Titan works functioning. They've had extremely limited contact with the surface dwellers, and they express no little disdain for those who just don't understand the great machines. Their homes are built around vast industrial projects under the surface that allow them to perform their functions in accordance with edicts, more or less. These different perspectives among the Earthen and their variable adherence to the Titan's edicts has weakened the society as originally structured. And that's not good, of course. But a much more serious problem is their steadily
hát itt ugye itt valami sztoriról van ugye szó, hát a faszom se vágja. Miről pofázik amúgy. Hát valami sztorit akar ugye elmesélni. Hogy ezek miért vannak itt, meg ilyen dolgok. Customization. Ez tényleg a Eldrathe, bazd meg. The Earthen. Allied race, aha. Allied race, bro. Customizáció.
These player Earthen will replenish the culture's dwindling numbers.
Légy témog, igen.
And they join either the Horde or
ez
the
az Eldrathe, srácok.
Yeah. It is of course player's choice which
tetszik
side you
nektek?
wish to ally with.
Megy a
But as you can see
szavazás.
from a small sampling of combinations, there's some fantastic variations and customizations coming for the Earthen models, including different gem incrustations, beards for all body types, rocky skin patterns, tones, and more. Now that golden mohawk with the braids and the fringe beard, that's quite the look. But
Érdekes.
I really like the beardless guy
Én nem
with the
vagyok ilyen
bushy blonde,
dwarfos kategória
eyebrows.
ember.
He looks so cool. He's just kind of like, yep,
Senki
what do you
6
want me
nem
to do?
egyből.
So,
Szia Csongor,
anyway,
szia.
all right, moving on. Another cool culture that
napot.
players will encounter in the war within is the Arathi.
Anyád, Arati!
Yeah.
Mi van
Yeah, and
veled?
you probably have questions, right? So these are descendants of the original Arathorian Empire, and they've arrived relatively
bazd meg, mi
recently and
ez?
through some somewhat mysterious circumstances. And they find themselves trapped here within Khazalgar. Mysterious mostly because I can't say
bazd
anything more
meg.
about it just yet because of spoilers, but it's not like spooky mysterious.
Ezek is a
It's the other
fők
kind.
alatt éltek, lehet, hogy
As a
élnek.
people, the Arathi are worshippers and wielders of holy fire. They are dedicated to bringing hope and light to the
Holy
darkness.
fire, ez amúgy nagy.
They're tough, resilient people, with every member of the society being an able combatant. Some few are further blessed with paladin-like abilities through their devotion to the light. Even their airships are powered by sacred flame. The extent to which they're comfortable in battle is probably a good thing,
Mindenki
because
kusba
they have
van.
established a home away from home in an enormous cavern bordered by an endless underground sea, from
Ne.
which terrifying creatures emerge to
Nem, nem.
rampage
Ez csak,
and
szerintem ezek csak
create
mobok.
havoc. Now, my idea of a cool place to
Ez nem
hang out, but
Eldrathe,
they're
nem?
really,
Nem
really
hiszem, de
tough.
mindjárt kiderül úgyis.
These watery monstrosities, though, are
Ez nem
nothing
Eldrathe.
compared to the threat from below.
Ezek csak ilyen fajok.
A constant swarm of
Szerintem.
Nerubians has been held back so far from invading the Arathi lands. The assault is unrelenting, the threat is dire, and the Arathi can't hold much longer. These bastions of light against the darkness are far from home and limited in number. Sure would be terrible if there was also
druida.
division within the
Amúgy ezt
Arathi ranks.
nagyon mondogatták amúgy,
That
hogy
would be
mindenből lesz druid, de nem
rough,
tudom,
what
hogy ez
with them being
igaz-e.
so outnumbered. We could probably help them.
Szokás nő.
All right, speaking of the Nerubians in the war within, we'll explore
Na,
their
ott
last
a
kingdom
góró.
deep within Khazalgar.
Emberi forma
These ancient survivors of the
Nerubians.
Black Empire who rejected their former masters have developed.
Ez ilyen új generáció, mert emberformájuk van már.
As Taryn mentioned earlier, Xalatath has made a bargain with the Nerubian queen Ansarek, who seeks a new future and renewed glory for her people. The Nerubians are extremely capable and devious adversaries who have been honing their skills with their constant assault on the Arathi. But domination hasn't come fast enough for the queen's taste, as the Arathi has managed to hold against this onslaught. So this deal with the Harbinger has included some assistance for her troops. Through some dark alchemical process, Xalatath has provided the knowledge required to evolve chosen Nerubians into paragons of their race, enhancing their viciousness. And Queen Ansarek has embraced these modifications with enthusiasm and eagerly offered her army to achieve the Harbinger's schemes. It appears to be a win-win situation.
Win-win situation,
But
bro.
not all Nerubians share their sovereign's enthusiasm for change and her embrace of Xalatath. Shadowy figures with far too many limbs maneuver against the Harbinger's
kitalálta egy
plans
új
in
szavazást,
opposition to the
srácok.
Queen's desire.
Csatornapontért.
As you might expect, any foray into this Nerubian kingdom introduces us to a variety of citizens, including some forms we've never encountered before. Here's a layout of some of the Nerubian models that are completed and also some that are in progress, as well as scale reference for goblins and humans, so you just get a sense of
Szavazatok,
size.
srácok.
In addition to the Nerubian citizens, there are also domesticated insects who serve the kingdom
Csatornapont
as beasts of
szavazás.
burden and
Ion
pets.
Hazikosztász itt lesz vajon?
The team is hard at work building out the full range of carapaces, carapi, I don't know, whichever, skittering legs, grabby arms, piercing spiky bits, and creepy eyes for you to enjoy, I guess. All right, let's talk about our zones.
Na, a
The
zónák.
surface of Khazalgar is our first zone, called the Isle of Dorn.
Ez olyan
This is
ízés,
the
nem?
home of the earthen surface dwellers, as well as other native species of creatures.
Ott a sör
The
fent,
fertile
akkor ezek
soil,
dwarfok.
flowering plant life,
Ott a
and
sör
generous
fent.
waterways provide nourishment for animals in this
Taurenú.
untouched paradise.
True.
An important facet of earthen society is cinderbrew mead.
Ez ilyen lokmodános
This
hely.
volatile substance is manufactured from molten honey, produced by enormous fiery bees. Their home groves are a
Szavazatok
remarkable sight, as
csatornapontért,
the hearts of the
srácok.
trees themselves glow with lava-like fluid. Harvesting is
Itt mindenki
always an
hordás.
exciting time, as the ferocious creatures are understandably protective of their hives.
Ja, hogy a
Now, the roosts
kiegészítőbe.
at Storm Watch are wreathed with lightning and
Wow,
fierce
nem
wind.
rossz. Ez
These
jól
wild
néz ki.
elemental rooks may choose to serve a member of the Oathsworn, who, if so blessed, becomes a Storm Rider,
Chatten
one of
nem.
the guardian warriors of the Earthen people.
Mindenki hordás.
The Unbound deal with hostile creatures
Kb.
from time to time, but for their most part, the existence is fairly relatively
Köszönöm a
peaceful,
2 rózsát,
peaceful.
Alexander.
Their
Arigato.
comfortable homes are often situated near the places where they once labored as adherents to the edicts. Those sites are now in disrepair and in some cases the lair of other creatures. Of course, the Isle of Dorn boasts a great walled city where the Oathsworn live and serve the edicts of the Titans. The city of Dornagal is the location of many important civic buildings, markets, traders, and crafters. And it's here that a traveler will find the expected amenities of a capital
érdekes ez a
city,
zóna.
as well as the Titan Causeway, the defense of which is the Oathsworn's primary charge.
Hord.
Now, beneath the surface of the Isle of Dorn lies our second zone, the Ringing Deeps. As the
Ez
name
már jobban
suggests, it
tetszik.
is
Kösze
here
két fánkod,
that the Earthen are
Alexander.
engaged in their work in accordance with the edicts. In these industrial areas of this cavernous space are huge, complicated machines, lava-heated foundries and
Hát
forges.
lesz még Nerubian sztori szerintem, úgyhogy nem kell megijedni. Nerubian az tutió, az Arati is tutió. Arati, Nerubian, ezek mind jók szerintem.
The Earth has shifted too in places, revealing openings to the sky above to the Isle of Dorn. These cenotes bring light and water into areas once shrouded in darkness. Abundant greenery, flowers, and creatures that do not typically dwell in caverns may be found in these
Dika kis
spots.
goblin gecik.
It was really important to us as developers that we delivered the fantasy of the hard-working industry,
Új
but still
talent.
had some break-up areas of
Linkeld már
natural
be.
beauty that don't feel like dark, constrained tunnels. Now, as the machine speaker population has dropped, they've had increasing difficulties with kobold incursions. And indeed, the kobolds have taken over the mines, the work areas. They've even built a city of their own. Unexpectedly, the kobolds are actually becoming a force to be reckoned with under the aggressive actions of their leader, the Candle King.
The Candle King.
No take
Candle King.
No take candle.
No take candle.
With the passage of time, the Earthen have diminished both in number
A fején van egy
and in
candle
the
geci.
knowledge required to perform the various routines to tune and repair the processes. Old ways have been forgotten, and new creative methods must be employed if the edicts are to be obeyed.
Igen, amúgy mostanában ugye volt ez a Zavern cavern, tudjátok, a föld alatti hely Dragonflighton, és nagyon verték a faszukat rá, hogy föld alatt tudnak csinálni zónát amúgy. Úgyhogy most erre nagyon rámennek szerintem. Az a kristály. Arati survive, bro. Anyád, mi ez a hely, te hülye? Na, ez komoly. Na ez komoly, gyerekek. Ott a templom is, ha baj van. Ez jó. Nagyon rendben van, nagyon rendben van. Nagyon jó. Nagyon jó. Bazd meg, mint egy katedrális, bazd meg.
The crystal provides brilliant light, warmth, and growth for vegetation. You may notice that all the blooming plants have opened their blossoms toward the light and seem to be reaching in that direction whenever they're in Holofall. Unfortunately, the crystal sun has been changing in recent years. Where once the light was steady and reliable, it now fades without warning.
Az igen. Anyád! Na menj a faszomba.
In the absence of this light, the dangerous Kobis and other fierce creatures emerge from the sea to rampage. As the Arathi are barely holding back the Nerubians, these unpredictable episodes are incredibly demoralizing and deadly. Happily, the light has always returned to the crystal, so far. And at the deepest descent in the war within, we reach the zone of Aj-Kahet. That almost rhymes.
Ez komoly lesz, ez is komoly. Ez nagyon jó. Ez nagyon jó.
As areas decay and crumble, a new district is built upon its ruins, and as a result, the city climbs ever higher. Those Nerubians favored by the queen, or possessing enormous wealth, or both, command the greatest views and live in the highest places over these swarming masses of the many districts. The Burrows is the home of the scavengers, the forgotten, deep in the decay and the filth. The Umbral Bazaar is a trading hub of fine silks, fascinating alchemical discoveries, and other exotic and hard-to-find goods. The Stains are the home of the lore keepers,
kicsit ilyen nazsgyatáros, ilyen nazsgyatár-flash.
And research myths and legends of
Welcome to
Azeroth.
Nazsgyatár.
There are many other districts and less than savory neighborhoods, both well-known and secret, that the careful adventurer could discover, should they risk life and limb to do so. But the key to such exploration is fitting in among the Nerubians.
Szerintem klassz nem lesz, mert most volt ez Evoker. Szerintem nem lesz. Majd ezután kiegbe talán. Ha engem kérdezel.
Areas of spectacular dark beauty that are inhabited by these creatures that have found a way to live among the Nerubians without being deemed a threat, found to be particularly tasty to consume, or just too much fun to torment.
Nice, bro.
The mobilization of forces to assault the Arathi while also providing military might to achieve Zalatath's schemes has stirred up all sorts of inhabitants of the darkness. And deep within the city itself,
vagy menet közben, igen, benne van.
gathering an odd substance, the black blood of the old gods, for some unknown purpose.
Na, Ion hazikoszt teszem, amikor System megjön. Szerintem System megjön amúgy Ion. Én azt mondom nektek. Hogy örülnének a köcsögök? Imádják a Dragon Ride-ikat ezek a köcsögök.
We travel from the Isle of Dorn into the ringing deeps, into Holofall, and then into Aj-Kahet.
50 euró az új kieg. Ez ingyen van amúgy mai világban. Igen, a Zarlek Cavern verik. Verik folyamatosan arra. Nagyon verik arra, hogy le tudnak menni töltőképernyő nélkül a föld alá. Ez Blizzard Entertainment. Mert egy szar lesz, értem. Úgyis megveszed Zipol, ismerem a fajtádat. Nőt nem lehet kapni ennyit. Zónakötősek? Szerintem is szexik.
Now this blobby map that I've got up here was an early attempt during development of our zone flow to try to figure out how we would stack these zones together and achieve the relationship between their geography and geometry that made sense and felt great.
White balance matter anyway. De nagy. Szerintem jönni fog amúgy Systemre megjön. Ion. Systemre megjelenik.
It was really important to our design that while 3 of the 4 zones are technically underground, they didn't feel that way, and that they were distinctly different from one another. We pursued that goal by introducing the natural cenotes in the ringing deeps and leaning into the fantasy of the classic underground
Nem vettem meg, de megveszem a stream után.
So even in the zone that felt the tightest, there's places that look as though they're actually on the surface. And within Hollowfall, we created a massive hollow space in a cavern so vast it feels like
jó, ez a BlizzCon ez jó lett. Meg srácok, azt nem szabad elfelejteni, hogy ez az élő BlizzCon már nagyon-nagyon régen nem volt. Nem volt élő BlizzCon, és szerintem ez egy méltó élő BlizzCon, én azt mondom nektek. Nem tudom ezzel, hogy vagytok.
And that is the last bit of eye candy I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this peek at what we've got in development.
Nem, most mit mondott? Nagyon örülnek neki.
So now it's time for me to introduce you to Morgan Day, who's going to give you lots of information about dungeons, raids, and systems. Enjoy. Thanks very much. Bye.
Szia! Kösz szépen! Ion? Most ezután jön Ion.
Hello, BlizzCon! My name is Morgan Day, and I'm here to talk to you about some of the upcoming content, features, and systems in The War Within.
Szerintem ilyen november körül jön. November körül már jön szerintem, vagy karácsonyra, ilyesmi. 8 dungeon? Rockeri, Stonewall-t.
There's a lot of really cool stuff happening in these dungeons.
4 max level, 4 level up.
Dungeon where you'll meet that Candle King, where there's like a light mechanic that takes place. You have to kind of keep it going to light your way. There's a dragon riding dungeon, of course, but also one of my favorites is the Cinderbrew Meadery that Maria just talked us through. So this is a dungeon that takes place on our first zone, the Isle of Dorn, which is where you'll experience all of our earthen buddies, and this is the place where they make that Cinderbrew mead that she was talking about. You know, they're taking all that honey that they gather from throughout the zone to make the mead to do all kinds of fun and/or nefarious things with. Although I do have to say, I feel like they're a little bit behind the times. I feel like all the kids are drinking that, hard seltzer or something these days, but whatever. They're old school, I get it. Next up, our raid, the Nerubar Palace.
Az a vers nagyon csöves volt. Nerubar Palace. Ó, ez az első raid. Első raid 8 boss.
The Nerubian Empire, their queen, and her collaboration with Xalatath. So for this next one, we don't normally show things this early, but I thought it'd be cool to share. On the left there, you can kind of see
hát ilyen november, kb. Innentől számítva szerintem 1 év. Minimum, szerintem. Még jönni fog 2 szezon amúgy relatív. De van egy YouTube videóm erről. Szezon 3-as YouTube videóm. Ott elmondom a jövőt. Legalábbis megpróbálom elmondani, hogy szerintem mi lesz.
You'll very quickly fall and/or get knocked into one of those giant pits of that black blood of the
Tavasztól beta hype-ja.
Much more about in Ajkahet. And then you'll battle your way through the harvest pits, and then finally traverse your way back up through the stalactite wing, which is not a final name, I promise, until you finally fight your way into the Queen's inner sanctum, where you'll be faced to the as the end boss.
Ideje volt nem fasságokkal tölteni az időt.
In terms of the vibes, but in terms of the player experience, it'll actually be quite a bit more linear than what you might be used to for a raid with some winged vibes. So something that I also think is fun to talk about really quick is with all of our dungeons and raids, we like to try to explore like what is the thing that's going to make this space feel really unique, that's going to make it stand out from all the other times that we've built these dungeons and raids.
Igen, a 3 napos előny az nagyon aljas. A 3 napos előny az elég aljas. Tehát az kicsit pofátlan a 3 napos előny. Igaz, hogy csak a szintezésbe leszel előnybe. Tehát nem lesz előnybe semmi mással amúgy. Tehát csak a szintezéssel, ugye. Nem, biztos, hogy nincs dungi, igen. Maximum normál dungik vannak talán. Vagy nincsen, azt már így megnézted?
first and foremost, we really want to continue to extend the philosophies of Dragonflight into the
Nézd ezt a faszt, kösz szépen, Zipó.
There's three main pillars that I want to touch on. First, we really want to make sure that we're focusing on evergreen features. We want to make sure that we're making World of Warcraft better forever and not focusing on things that we know we're going to have to leave behind as we move into future expansions.
Azt mondja, hogy ja, várjál. Várjál, én lemaradtam, bazd meg.
A hardcore raider, a PvPer, a collector, or apparently like Holly, you just love to play tons of alts and run around the world exploring things. We want to make sure that there's something in War Within that you can really geek out over and that resonates with you. And finally, we want to make sure that we're continuing to build on our philosophy and build on our systems and
örökzöld dolgokat akarnak beadni, örökzöld dolgokat, ami örökre jó lesz, és nem csak örökre jó lesz, és nem csak az adott kiekbe. Ezt akarják elérni.
We want to make sure that we're building all of our systems to really respect the time of the player behind the keyboard and not focusing so much on the accomplishments of that individual character.
Igen, nem lesz Mythic Dungeon, persze.
So let's talk about delves. Delves are a new feature that will be integrated into the outdoor world experience, where the fantasy of these is actually that you'll be joining the Dragon Scale expedition in their search for lost treasures all across Kazalgar.
Max normal dungeon lesz.
So delves are an evergreen feature that is really integrated into that outdoor world experience. We want delves to be a
evergreen feature, ez egy nagyon jó dolog amúgy. Örökzöld cucc, hogy mindig jó legyen. Örökzöld cuccok azok nagyon kemények lennének, csak ezek nagy dumák, érted? Nagy dumák, de nehéz ezt megcsinálni.
Is that these will provide an opportunity for us to, give seasonal content and rewards to those outdoor world explorers. So that means things like, rewards that you're used to, like mounts, achievements, titles, but we'll also be adding a outdoor row to the Great Vault with War Within.
Anyád! Outdoor content, Great Vault. Gyerekek.
So that all of you outdoor world explorers will be able to share in the joy
Great Vault outdoor content
every week to collect your loot. And there will also be 13 unique delves that we'll be launching War Within with. Delves will scale from 1 to 5 players and be role agnostic. So that means if you want to play a delve solo, that's totally cool. If you want to go with you and your partner, that works as well. Or you can bring your whole dungeon group in, and the delve will scale based on your group size and your roles.
Mi van? Solo dungeon, meg bármennyi fős valami csoda?
And I would be remiss if I didn't mention one of my favorite features of delves, which I think Maria alluded to earlier, which is that there will be an NPC companion joining you on all of your adventures. So for season 1, that'll be Bran Bronzebeard, as you can see.
Dick.
And Bran will be tagging along with you on all of your delve adventures, and will totally never, not even once, aggro a pack of monsters that you didn't want him to. And I don't have my fingers crossed behind my back right now.
Velünk lesz az élőcsöves gyász.
Bran will have a customizable talents and abilities that you'll be able to kind of load out to suit your playstyle and needs. So, maybe you need a little bit of extra healing. Well, you can load Bran out to provide that for you. And finally, you wouldn't be exploring with the Dragon Scale expedition.
Customizable mechanik. Ja. Tehát ez a dwarf ugye jön velünk, és van neki ilyen spelljei, gondolom, amit állíthatsz, kinyit ilyen dobozokat, megcsinál ilyen puzzle-öket, tudjátok, mert volt ilyen a izében amúgy. Shadowlands végén volt ilyen mobunk amúgy.
Next up, let's talk about warbands. It's happening.
Vault ajtót kinyitja nekünk. What?
So warbands are a system that we're introducing that will really be the representation of all of your characters across your Battle.net account. Warbands are an opportunity for us to create a platform where you can share your achievements, resources, and all that other good stuff across all of those characters. So the goal of this system is really to be that representation of the philosophy shift that I mentioned earlier about really respecting the time of the player.
Warbands, ez nagyon komoly lesz. Ez a Warbands, gyerekek,
there's actually a ton of additions and modifications. We've talked about a few here. There's no like singular
Gyerekek, ez valami nagyon para lesz. Ez a Warbands.
It's more of like all these modifications and updates and
ez nagyon komoly lesz.
Like, kind of wearing a big coat that says Warbands on the back of it. It's how I kind of keep it straight in my head.
Ez nagyon kemény.
Just to talk about a couple of those cool features.
Szavasz Rob the Wayfire.
The transmog rules of how you acquire those appearances.
Ez valami nagyon paracuc lesz, srácok.
So for all of you who have
ez annyira új, hogy ezt én nem mondok erről semmit, mert ez nagyon kemény. Itt valami... Ez nagyon jó hangzik, annyit mondok. Igen, ez új kieg. Ja igen, hogy minden izét gyűjthettek, azt hiszem. Reputáció.
All of our reputations as well as renown in the War Within will be shared across your entire account.
Renown. Egybe van, minden repu egybe van. Ez lehetetlen, ez igen? Ott a talentfa.
Last but not least, let's talk about hero talents.
Reaper of the Grow. Minden repu egybe lesz, maybe. Maybe. Csak mondom, hogy maybe. Ez mi ez? Kis extra? Hero talents.
So there will be 3 new hero talent trees per class, and 2 will be available per specialization that you can freely choose and swap between. And also, this is another evergreen feature. This is a system that we think is going to provide a new vector of choice and customization for you and all of your classes, as well as create opportunities for us to really dig into some of those core class fantasies.
Szóval a izének lesz minden talentnak, minden karakternek lesz 3 ilyen extra valamilyen.
Self-contained talent trees like you just saw in the UI. And the way I like to think about it is like currently we have 2 types of talent points, right? We have class talent points and specialization talent points.
És lesz még egy.
And now in the War Within there'll be a third type called hero talent points.
Igen, még egy talent pont lesz, hogy hero.
So let's look at a quick example which hopefully explains it a little bit more. This is a warrior, as you can see.
Warrior, hadd szóljon.
These are the 3 hero talent trees that they'll have available: Mountain Thane, Colossus, and Slayer. And as you can see in the top left, we have Protection, who will be able to choose between Mountain Thane and Colossus. Up on the right, you see Fury. Yep, that's right. Mountain Thane and Slayer are their options, and down at the bottom, Colossus and Slayer are their options. So this is how the majority of our classes are going to look in the War Within.
Fú, Mage-et megnézném, geci.
Druids and Demon Hunters.
Mage-et meg lehet nézni.
Special, so theirs will look a little different. So let's take a look at how you'll unlock the system, as well as how it'll feel playing through as you're leveling through the War Within. So the system will automatically unlock at level 71, and it'll just kind of appear in your UI. You'll earn 1 talent point per level as you level from 71 to 80. And there are 10 talent points in total, with several choice nodes along.
Ez az, hogy lesz, ugye most úgy van, hogy van egy druid talentfád, meg van mondjuk egy balance druid talentfád. Ugye mind a kettőt töltöttük ki, és akkor most van még egy lesz majd. És azon belül lehet így váltogatni, tehát elég sok új variáció elméletileg. És akkor lehet váltogatni, gondolom. Level 80 amúgy true. Amúgy true. Level 80 true. True.
The start of a raid boss, before Mythic Plus starts, before an arena match kicks off, and anywhere in between. And to wrap us up, I wanted to show off a really quick video of what hero talents look like in action.
Na, in action nézzük csak meg. Warrior, ugrik.
And this next one is that same warrior with the Mountain Thane talent tree.
Mountain talent.
Stormbolt hits multiple targets. There's a couple of effects and a lot of other cool stuff going on there.
Aha.
I heard some oohs. Our effects artist will be.
Aha. Szóval egy kicsit így megváltoztatja
that about wraps us up for our
nem tudom, a stílusát, hogy valami ilyesmi, értitek? Hát ezt a BlizzCon megvárjuk azért. Nagyjából ezt még lesztreamelem. Ez érdekes volt. Holnap lesz majd. Nincs Ion, akkor valaki bukott. Nagyon sokat. Ion? Holnap lesz Ion csak.
Good afternoon,
Let's go, boys! TikTokon hatalmas kommentek vannak. Jújjj, bro! Glória, hallottátok? Itt van nektek a csém. Let's go, boy! Glória!
My name is Ana Resendez, and I am one of the 2 lead software engineers on the World
Let's
Warcraft
go.
Classic team. Today, yeah.
Hello, hello.
Today, I will be joined by
Milyen a
3
csaj?
other of my
Szavazzuk
members
meg.
of the Classic team. Josh Greenfield, our senior producer. Nora Valera, my fellow lead software engineer. And Tim Jones, our team's
Mi
lead
a fasz?
designer.
Az igen, gyerek tüzet okád.
It is an honor for us to represent the Classic team and talk to you about so many of the things we're working on WoW Classic. So today, let's talk about
Let's
the Classic
go.
journey so far, plus Cataclysm Classic, Hardcore, and our newer Season of Discovery.
Cataclysm Classic Hardcore.
Yeah.
What?
So you know, WoW
Miről
WoW
beszél?
Classic was announced at BlizzCon 6 years ago. And ever since that day, the team worked really hard to bring those precious memories of WoW to you and to me.
Na
The
nézzük.
Classic journey officially started when you joined us in 2019 back in AZEROTH, creating a new character.
Lepjetek meg. Lepjetek
Remembering the
meg.
importance of having a good wand and being careful of how many mobs you pull at a
Volt egy
time.
vesző, igen, ez lehetséges.
We went through the journey of getting your first
Szia, uram.
mount and feeling like you were riding the most powerful machine, making all those level 10s jealous of your speed. Eventually,
Most ugye azt mondta
we
csak,
hit
hogy
60 levels,
elmész a izével.
and we went on to face some of the most iconic challenges,
Elszárnyalsz a
including the
mondta.
Fire Lord himself, Lord Ragnaros.
Ragnaros.
We ran the gong of Anchorage and saw new Scarlords walking among us. We completed our journey at level 60 by adventuring into Naxxramas with 39 other of our friends. In 2021, the Dark Portal opened, and us brave heroes stepped forward into a new world to face the Born Legion. In Outland, we learned to fly and see the world from a different perspective.
Igen, így van,
And
tudtunk
after
repülni.
killing many Talbot, we contested Illidan, and turns out, you know, maybe we were prepared after all.
Ez nagyon furcsa ez a csajom.
Later on, we explored the coldest continent of Azeroth. We arrived to Nordrend via boat of Zeppelin.
Most ugye arról van szó, hogy így hogy haladt a játék, tudjátok, a nulláról.
Masters of vehicles. And if you're like me, indeed press that red button. Yeah. Oops.
Na, jó
Want to
van.
prepare ourselves for the ultimate combat and defeat the
Oops.
Lich King on top of Icecrown Citadel. You know, as you heard earlier from our executive producer Holly, our journey will continue into Cataclysm Classic in 2024. The Classic journey started with you as a love letter to the WoW community. We asked what you wanted, you responded to us, and we listened. And as we move onward, we look to bring new Classic experiences to life.
Ó, a kis katalóg screen.
We're driven by
Jó.
smart changes as informed by you. So this is Kata for you.
Kata
You know,
nektek.
but before we talk about all the changes that we're bringing to Cataclysm Classic, let's talk about some of the features that will be returning as your journey to the new level cap to 85. So, Goblins will be
85,
joining Core,
85.
Worgens
Goblin és
will be joining
Worgen.
the Alliance.
Goblin és Worgen ugye jön, egyértelműen.
Cataclysm also unlocks a bigger combination of classes and races. For players that like to play as a Night Elf Mage, your time is now.
Night Elf Mage.
Transmogs are coming back into Cataclysm. Start getting those ideas ready for your next Transmog contest. And for the
Úristen,
explorers,
dude.
there's also where archaeology makes its debut. And for our PvP fans,
Night Elf Mage, bro.
Raided backgrounds are coming back. Yeah, love PvP. The world will be changed after shattering of Deathwing. No giant
Night Elf
swords
Mage.
just yet,
Legionbe
but big
jött be.
changes to Azeroth nonetheless.
Legionbe jött be a
Along
Night
with
Elf Mage.
graphics improvements, literally thousands of new quests await you across different continents. And of course, you
Grafikai
will also be
upgrade.
able to unlock flying in Azeroth.
grafikai tuning.
As the world changes, it comes with some of the most iconic dungeons and raids that you have ever experienced.
Igen, ugyanazok ugye visszajönnek a dungeonok.
5 new zones, 10 new dungeons, and 7 new raids.
5 zóna, 10 dungeon, 7 raid, ugye?
Speaking of those raids, Cataclysm had a hugely varied opening tiers of raiding, including Bastion of Twilight, where after defeating our two-headed mage Cho'Gall, a surprise appearance from Sinestra awaits. Later, we will venture into Firelands, soaring through rings of fire against Alice Razor, and seeing Ragnaros take his first baby steps. They grow up so quickly.
Baby steps.
This is,
this is
just some of what we know, but what are we bringing new to Classic? What's new for Cataclysm Classic? We have seen a ton of positive feedback in the community around the new Titan Rune dungeon system in Grad, or as you might know it as Heroic Plus.
Új dungeon difficulty.
Allowing you new deterministic opportunities.
Új dungeon difficulty, what the fuck?
So we're excited to bring the spirit of those forwards into Cataclysm.
Új dungeon
nehezítés. New takes on Cataclysm dungeons. We will be making updates to the guild advancement system introducing Cataclysm. We want to ensure that guilds that are on the smaller side are not left behind. In past years, we heard from you about wanting to have collections UI in Classic. So we're happy to have introduced that in our final patch of Grad. And now transmogs will live in it too, and they're going to be account-wide. So get all those alts together and get all that gear.
Na jó van, gyerekek.
Classic gives us the opportunity to revisit the cadence at which we release content patches. I think we all know when a patch has overstayed its welcome, which is why
gyorsabb leveling 80-ig.
Will be experienced at a faster rate, faster than the original.
Lesz transmog katában, de katában, ja, de volt már témog, nem? Katában volt már témog. De ez most account-wide. Hú, ez elég kemény azért.
But as we said, WoW Classic started as a love letter to the community, and we continue to look to you.
Igen, tehát azt mondja ugye, hogy ezek vannak, de a feedbacket ugyanúgy várják, tehát hogy visszajelzéseket, és akkor még gondolkoznak dolgokon. Ez nagyon kemény ez az izé. Account-wide témok, bro.
Thank you again for taking this journey with us as we venture forth into our mysterious future. Speaking of the amazing contributions from the community, let's talk about hardcore. Yeah!
Hardcore. Na nézzük, mi lesz hardcore-ra, gyerekek. Kíváncsiak. Tovább viszik?
I have a question for people here. Who here has made it to level 16 hardcore?
Level 60-at kiért el?
Yeah, that's
hát én nem.
Very impressive. That's really impressive. But, okay, who here has died before level 16 hardcore? Yeah.
Ki halt meg 60 alatt?
Me too. You and I, my friends, that has happened. But in fact, you're not alone. Yeah. You have joined the graveyard alongside all these characters, including those unfortunate hunters. So, here are updated stats from end of last month.
Hunter nagyon haldoklik, bro. Ott volt az én palám is, srácok.
I do not have that at that available, but let's take a look at some reenactments of the 3 most common environmental deaths in hardcore. So, who else was looting that final mob and forgot to take a look at their breath meter? Or maybe you were too busy typing in the chat in Ironforge and became one with the Great Forge.
Úristen, de hülye vagy, Geci. Azt a kurva, Mountal meghal a gyerek.
Or you misjudged the distance and gravity gave you a moral reminder. I've been there.
Hát ez egy köcsög.
Yeah, I mean, these are some dumb ways to die, but on the opposite side, there are so much more heroic ways to die. And we have been super excited to see how players have engaged with our new feature, Duel to the Dead.
Anyád! Sorry, you, bro.
We're very impressed by the community events and all the players that have been brave enough to participate in them. It takes a lot. But you know, as Colin mentioned earlier today, we have a new optional rule set coming to hardcore. So we are excited to officially announce, officially announce that Self-Found will be coming to hardcore in early 2024.
Self-Found?
Players that opt into this mode won't be able to trade, use the mail, or use the action house until you reach max level. We hope that you join us to take on this new challenge. So yeah, on behalf of the Classic team, thank you so much for joining us on the Classic journey.
Bejön egy olyan cucc, hogy nem lehet alházni, meg ilyenek, gondolom, ha akarsz, valószínűleg. Nem lehet alházni, tudjátok, mint az régi addon szerint, ugye. AH posta, meg ilyenek, szerintem. 60-ig. Season of Discovery, boys, na nézzük, na erre, na gyerekek, Classic Plus.
Wow, look at this crowd.
Classic
Hello,
Plus.
BlizzCon. My name is Josh Greenfield, and I'm the senior game producer on WoW Classic. I'm here to talk to you today about our new season for Classic World of Warcraft, Season of Discovery. Today, I'm going to give you an introduction and an overview of what our season is at a very high level, as well as giving you an idea of what our major features are. After this overview, I'm going to hand things off to a few other Classic team members to dig into some specifics about what I'm going to cover. So let's go ahead and jump in.
New endgame activities, nem rossz.
So it seems fitting to start off talking about discoveries. It's in the name after all, so it seems pretty important to the season. When you first start a character in Season of Discovery, it'll look and feel identical to original World of Warcraft. You'll slay kobolds, you'll give lazy peons a bonk, all the kind of normal things you do when starting fresh in World of Warcraft. When you get to around level 2, however, in the starter zone, your class trainer will offer you a new quest. And this is to go find your first rune. We'll talk about runes in a little bit more in a minute, but after that, the game simply tells you, go find more. And that's kind of where discoveries come in. Discoveries are essentially secrets hidden throughout the game world. They usually aren't quests in the traditional sense. There's nothing on your map to show them to you. This is Classic after all. And some may be as simple as a treasure coffer deep in a kobold mine, but many are small events kind of unto themselves, oftentimes requiring more than one player, a little bit of creativity or some keen observation skills to obtain. One of the things we love about AZEROTH is the sense of awe and wonder it inspires. It's a massive world. But due to the kind of solved nature of original WoW, it can sometimes feel a lot smaller than it did when we first started our adventures. Discoveries are a way to disrupt that event. Keep the world familiar, comfortable, but add enough new things to find to evoke that sense of adventure and exploration we first felt when we stepped foot in AZEROTH. Beyond the next hill, deep in the next crypt or cave, something exciting could be hidden. One other thing we love about Discoveries is this social and information sharing aspect. For those first few weeks of each phase, we hope to find secret finding communities pop up, both in and out of game, as players scour AZEROTH to find all these little hidden things. We can't wait to read general chat as players begin sharing what they found with each other in real time. We think that social and info sharing aspect is super exciting, and we can't wait to see how long it takes for all these little secrets to be found.
Akkor talán, hogy lehet beszélgetni egymással, generál meg ilyenek. Gondolom. No public beta or PTR.
We want day one of Season of Discovery to feel as fresh and full of surprises as we can.
Azt akarják, hogy ne lehessen meglátni előtte.
To keep those first few weeks as exciting as possible. The last thing we'll say about Discoveries now is that we wanted to craft them in a way that really felt at home in original WoW. Many times when playtesting amongst ourselves, we'd find a new NPC or an object, and someone would hesitate and say, like, is this from 2004? Is this new? And we're like, yeah, it's new. That's new to the season. And to us, that's a great success. The idea here is that these things feel as like a natural part of AZEROTH as it was at this point in WoW's history. Next, let's talk a little bit about level-banded content phases and what that means. In essence, level-banded content phases are how we're going to approach the level-up journey in Season of Discovery. When we initially launch, the level cap in Season of Discovery will be level 25. after a number of weeks, the level cap will increase to a higher level for the next phase. So why a level cap of 25 to start with? Well, our inspiration for this actually came from the WoW Classic Beta in 2019. We saw how much fun the game was when the level was capped at a lower level, and how players would find new and exciting talent and item combinations to optimize around. And this is something we've always looked back fondly on, and it's something we've wanted to sort of explore ever since. We also realized how approachable an initial lower level cap could be. We talk a lot internally about approachability on WoW Classic and respecting players' time.
Sose legyen késő elkezdeni.
Approach to really get things we really consistently see on forums or social media too is it too late to start? And oftentimes we'll hear this literally within a day or two of a new release. And obviously it's never too late to start playing Classic WoW. But as we've all, grown into additional responsibilities and found ourselves spending maybe a little less time playing games than we used to, we can definitely feel that sense of kind of fear of missing out, or FOMO, when we log in after a long week and see our friends 10 or 20 levels ahead of us. And for that, this level banded approach is perfect. There will be plenty to do in each new leveling journey, from the quests and dungeons and battlegrounds we all know and love, to finding all the brand new things to discover across AZEROTH. And then later on, leveling new alts to find all of their hidden discoveries as well. There's lots to do, but we're hoping that you won't ever feel that sense of being behind just because you couldn't play on a given day. We also plan to give a very sizable experience boost to the previous level band every time we raise the level cap. This is kind of similar to Joyous Journeys and Wrath Classic, if you're familiar with that. So even if you miss a phase or once a level in alt, you'll be able to catch up to your friends in no time.
So the
next thing we want to talk about is in-game at level cap. So when we kind of decided on this level banded content approach, we had to kind of sit down and ask ourselves, what is in-game when the level cap is 25? And first, I think it makes sense to talk a little bit about our inspiration. And this is something we really keep coming back to a lot on Classic. Since this is a version of original WoW, we wanted to start out grounded in familiar locations and put the focus for the new stuff on fresh gameplay and mechanics in those iconic dungeons and locales. To that end, our first raid in Season of Discovery will be the iconic dungeon, Black Fathom Deeps, reimagined as a 10-player raid instance.
10 playeres raid. Elég érdekes amúgy. Nem rossz. 10 player az tökéletes.
Next, one of our main goals is to ensure that these are fully featured, deep, satisfying raids, and not simply the addition of a few mechanics to existing encounters as they were in 2004. All of these encounters are a full ground-up redesign and should feel like proper raid encounters. And of course, with new raids comes lots of new loot.
Na jó. Ez jó hangzik. Bevallom nektek, hogy ez nagyon jó hangzik.
In addition to raids, we also really want to play up that PvP aspect. And as a result, we're planning to add several outdoor PvP events to the game as the level caps increase. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Lastly, one of the things we're most excited about is where we go when we start getting to higher levels. We are leaving the door open to the possibility of completely new experiences and the prospects of exploring previously unfinished or unused locales for future raid and dungeon content. We're starting at level 60. I know, I'm excited too. I'm excited too.
I'm excited too. Érted, a gyerek a fejlesztő, tudod? Jó lesz.
We think that level 25 is going to be full of great, memorable gameplay that feels right at home in original WoW. But this is just the first step, and we think the best is yet to come. So next, let's kind of change gears and talk about rune engraving a little bit.
Na, ez a rune engraving, ez
one of the most exciting new things about Season of Discovery.
Crusader Strike
one of the most consistent pieces of feedback we've gotten from previous iterations of original WoW, such as our Season of Mastery, is that many players would like to try some adjustments to their favorite class or spec. We really wanted to take a chance with Season of Discovery and go kind of wild here, and we did. That's where rune engraving comes in. Rune engraving is a new skill that all Season of Discovery characters know automatically on character creation. Rune engraving allows you to gather, learn, and apply new class abilities directly to your equipment, kind of like enchants. In the initial 1 through 25 experience, you'll be able to discover runes in your chest, legs, and glove slots. And as the level cap increases, additional runes for other item slots will be discoverable over time. Once learned, runes are permanent and can be applied and reapplied to your gear at will just out of combat. One of the most exciting things about these runes is that they exist completely outside of the talent system, meaning that you could very realistically splash in, damage abilities with a healing talent spec, so you could soul a little bit better, or you could swap maybe to tanking ability runes to round out the tank spot in your 5-player group if you're missing one. You may also encounter previously faction-specific paladin and shaman buffs as runes, which helps bring some parity to each faction without those classes losing their unique flavor or the factions losing their unique flavor. In order to also streamline the talent system to go along with runes, we do plan to adjust the respec cost to be much more nominal in Season of Discovery, particularly at low levels.
Reduket talent respect cost. Olcsóbb lesz a respecezés.
That's not all. Who knows, maybe, just maybe, someday, you won't be constrained to just one talent spec in Season of Discovery. Who knows?
Micsoda.
So, overall, we've been playing this a ton internally. We've been having so much fun with it. It's everything we love about Classic.
Egy talent speced lesz végig, hogyha idővel.
At this, I'd like to hand this off over to one of our lead software engineers, Nora Valletta, to talk about some specific abilities you may encounter on the different classes, as well as to talk a bit about our PvP plans for Season of Discovery. Take it away, Nora.
Wow, nice. Ez jó hangzik amúgy, nekem tetszik. Nagyon jó hangzik. Ez nagyon jó hangzik, srácok.
Thanks, Josh. Hey, BlizzCon. My name's Nora Valletta. And along with Anna, I'm a lead software engineer on WoW Classic.
Yeah, let's go.
There are over 100 runes in the 1 to 25 leveling bracket across all classes, and we'd love for you guys to go forth and discover them on your own. However, to give you an idea of what to expect, I have a few to share with you today. First things first, I want to share some of the things we had in mind when designing runes in Season of Discovery. One is to shake up the meta. Our seasonal content is a great opportunity to deliver WoW Classic with a twist. With our non-seasonal content, we try to deliver a classic experience close to the original. But with Seasons, we have the freedom to experiment with what-if scenarios, such as, what if rogues could tank? What if paladins did have a taunt? On that point, we wanted to introduce abilities such that each class has something special. Something that other classes can point to and go, dang, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. Many of the runes you find are greatest hits remixes of popular abilities from various WoW expansions, so many of them will be familiar to you. That said, some of these familiar abilities may actually behave a little differently than you remember. Some spells and abilities you'll discover have never been introduced before in any WoW expansion.
Micsoda? Olyan spell, hogy nem volt még benne a játékban? Ez lehetetlen. Ez lehetetlen, bro.
Most importantly, we want Classic to continue to feel like Classic. Many of the iconic spells and abilities you've seen in various WoW expansions feel fitting for that expansion or fitting for modern WoW, but would feel out of place in Classic, so we tried to avoid introducing anything with a too modern feel and made adjustments wherever it made sense.
Túl modern ne legyen, azt mondják.
Anyways, enough of that. Let's take a sneak peek at some of those abilities. Druids.
Druid úristen ember.
In Season of Discovery, you have an interrupt called Skull Dash, which can be used in cat or bear form.
Nice.
Fury of Storm Rage removes the mana cost of Wrath. Dealing damage with Wrath has a chance to make your next healing touch instant. Wild Growth applies a heal over time effect to your target and up to 5 nearby party members.
Wow, bro.
Hello, Hunters.
Hello, Hunters.
Beast Mastery will increase your pet's damage, health, and focus regen. Growl is now a proper taunt. Explosive Shot is a ranged damage over time ability. And Lone Wolf gives you a damage boost if you have no active pet.
Solo Hunter, bro.
Pair this with dual wielding, and you've got yourself a mean melee hunter. Mages.
Anyát fog Miri hunterozni. Mage, bro.
Ice Lance is an instant frost spell that deals triple damage to frozen targets.
Ice Lance,
Living
dude.
Flame causes flames to erupt and chase a nearby enemy, leaving a burning trail in its wake.
Mi a fasz? Ez is új.
And Regeneration is a heal, which marks your target with a temporal beacon. Another rune ability called Rewind Time will heal the damage taken over the previous 5 seconds. You can heal other people with this, by the way, not just yourself. So I hope you've made room on your roster for mage healers. Paladins. In WoW Classic, they don't have a taunt, but here it is in Season of Discovery.
One taunt, bro.
Hand of Reckoning is your taunt. Knowing this ability will also increase the threat bonus of Righteous Fury and cause you to gain mana when healed by other players. Crusader Strike is a weapon attack.
Az kellett.
It's a weapon attack which costs no additional mana and instead regenerates your mana slightly with each hit. And Seal of Martyrdom can be activated to cause melee attacks to strike other nearby targets.
Nice.
You'll lose health when inflicting damage with this. However, nearby party members will gain mana based on the damage you take. Priests. You can channel penance to heal nearby friendly targets or deal damage to enemy targets.
Vanilla penance.
Prayer of Mending heals your target the next time they take damage or receive healing. Afterwards, it'll bounce to another friendly player nearby. Homunculi animates 3 miniature copies of your character, which will attack your target with a mace, a sword, and an axe, reducing their attack speed, attack power, and armor, respectively.
What, bro?
Rogues.
Na nézzük a rogot.
From stealth, Shadow Strike allows you to teleport behind your target and strike for a nice big chunk of damage.
Vanillán oda teleportálsz mögé.
It deals poison damage based on your deadly poison doses on the target, and also increases the frequency of applying instant poison for some time afterwards. Just a Flesh Wound is our rogue tank ability. You generate way more threat, you take reduced physical damage while Blade Dance is active, you're less likely to be critically hit by melee attacks, and your Feint ability turns into a taunt called Tease. Shamans. Lava Lash deals offhand weapon damage.
Wow, boys.
In Season of Discovery, enhancement shamans can dual wield with the help of another rune not pictured here. Happy hunting. Healing Rain is a gradual AoE heal which can be placed on the ground, or on a lamppost, or on the ceiling. Way of Earth allows you to perform the coveted role of Shaman Tank.
Az igen. Shaman Tank.
With this, you'll deal increased threat, you'll take less damage, and Earth Shock becomes your taunt.
Sokra ez a taunt.
Warlocks.
Ez beteg amúgy. Warlock? Na jó, ez kemény lesz.
Haunt deals damage, increases all shadow damage you deal to the target, and heals you for the damage it dealt once it's dispelled or expires. Chaos Bolt sends a big beefy bolt of fire at the enemy. It always hits, it can't be resisted, and it causes all of your fire spells to pierce through absorption effects.
Ez mindenféleképpen
itt. Metamorphosis.
Ne! Metamorphózis, te hülye!
This is your shapeshift, allowing you to transform into a demon, similar to a druid's bear form, increasing your armor and reducing your chance to be critically hit.
Mi, örökre?
Searing Pain becomes instant, Shadow Bolt becomes a melee cleave, and Curse of Recklessness is your taunt. Warriors.
Ez bazd meg... Warlock, tankember.
Victory Rush is a weapon attack that can be used after killing an enemy. It will heal you for a certain percentage of your health.
Hülye vagy, az a Warlock, az nagyon kemény.
Devastate will cause your Sunder armor to deal main hand weapon damage, increased for each stack of Sunder armor already on the target. And Raging Blow is a vicious strike that deals heavy damage, but can only be used while enraged. Now this is just a taste of all the abilities coming to classes in Season of Discovery. And really, bottom line, we want everyone to feel OP.
Yeah. Oké. Na jó van, gyerekek, ezt nagyon meghúzták most, gyerekek, az úrba.
Anyways.
Ez most meglepő volt nagyon.
Let's instead turn our attention to the ancient forest of Ashenvale in northern Kalimdor. Ashenvale is known for its beauty, its rich natural resources, and its role as a hotly contested territory between the Horde and the Alliance. In Season of Discovery, earning kills while in Ashenvale will trigger a zone-wide PvP event.
Zone-wide PvP event, bro.
During this event, a leader will appear in the zone for each faction, a Farseer for the Horde, and a Priestess of the Moon for the Alliance. Your objective is simple, to defeat the enemy leader. Now this is easier said than done. These leaders are tough, so you'll have to work together to take them out. In addition to the main camps where those faction leaders reside, various other camps will spawn across the zone for each faction. The Priestess of the Moon and the Farseer are each buffed by respective leaders in those smaller camps. The more of those small camps you can take out, the weaker your enemy's faction leader will become. Sounds familiar. It's much like Alterac Valley.
Bro.
This event is an awesome way to earn honor, as well as reputation with Warsong Gulch factions, which allows you to unlock some of the best level 25 gear in the game. You'll also be able to earn a mount, which you can actually use at level 25, but only in Ashenvale. It will increase your speed by 50%, giving you the extra boost you need to seek and destroy the enemy.
Lesz egy mount a PvP event helyen.
Ashenvale. I'll see you there.
A raidet mutasd, tesó.
Anyways, I've done enough talking.
Raid.
It's time for me to pass things off to Tim, who's going to talk to you about raids and the PvE endgame.
Na tesó, ha most ezt a raidet meghúzzák, gyerekek, akkor ez Classic Plus. Akkor ez méltó Classic Plusra, azt mondom.
Hey BlizzCon!
Na erre kíváncsi.
My name is Tim Jones and I'm the assistant lead designer on World of Warcraft Classic. Woo!
Élőben, igen, BlizzCon.
Multiplayer content is the heart of World of Warcraft. Whether we're questing together, running a dungeon, crafting an item for a friend, or chatting in guild about where to find that new metamorphosis rune for Warlock, WoW offers one of the richest multiplayer experiences across all of gaming. And Season of Discovery aims to deliver on providing new group content that's both challenging and rewarding. Now first, I want everyone to take a moment with me and imagine, alongside the Zorm Strand on Ashenvale's north coast, lies the ruins of an ancient elven temple to the goddess Elune. Evil stirs within, drawing the likes of the Naga and the Twilight's Hammer in search of power and anything that could hasten the coming of the old gods. You know, maybe you've been here before, maybe not. No matter your familiarity with this place, it's hard not to be drawn in by the mystique, the rich art, the level design, as well as the robust creature and spell ecology of Blackfathom Deeps. You know, on the Classic team, we couldn't help but ask ourselves, could this amazing location be more than just a 5-player dungeon? So we're excited. Get your level 25 Prebis, equip your runes, find 9 of your best friends, and get ready. The Classic team is proud to announce Level Up Raids. New instance challenges for raid groups to experience the max level for each of Season of Discovery's content bands.
Ez mit jelent? Level Up Raids, ez mit jelent, tesó? Hát nem tudjuk. Hát ezt senki nem tudja, mit jelent.
At level 25, Blackfathom Deeps is the first level up raid that you'll experience in Season of Discovery.
Mi az?
You know, groups should be easy to form. Grab a couple tanks and healers, make a party of 10,
csak,
good
igen.
to go. God knows,
igen.
Everyone and their mom can tank and heal in Season of Discovery now, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Ja, amúgy igen. Mindenki tud már tankolni, úgyhogy ez nem lesz baj.
Content phases in Season of Discovery won't be as long as traditional Classic expansion patches either. And we want you to have as many opportunities to explore and plunder the riches within. And as such, Blackfathom will offer a 3-day lockout, much like the raid Zul'Gurub.
3 napos ID. 7 darab fully reimaged.
The story is the same. The location and creatures may be familiar to some, but the challenges and rewards are brand new. 7 new bosses are here to both entertain and test your skills. And how could we not make raid content without new loot? Existing quests and rewards have also been updated for the raid as well.
Megpróbálom összegyűjteni itt a gondolatokat.
And you'll even be able to find secrets within the raid.
Ez elég kemény.
Can you solve the mystery of the Twilight Artisan? Can you find the recipes for the Blackfathom sharpening stones and wizard oil? And will you be the first group to access the new world buff, Boon of Blackfathom?
Új world buff. Az anyád úristenit.
Okay.
Baron, akkor van is.
I love your guys' enthusiasm. This is amazing. Let's peek behind the curtain at what challenges await players in Blackfathom. You know, or as we affectionately call it, BFD, not to be confused with BRD or BFA or BWL or BWD. You guys get the idea. Baron Aquinas, he guards the entrance. No longer a simple quest NPC. You must challenge his elemental lieutenants that inhabit the Fathom Stones.
Ja, az első boss.
And in doing so, you may face off against Aquinas himself atop the infamous jumping puzzle.
Ugrálós puzzle.
And jump you must to get in range of the Baron, but beware both the boss and your teammates, because there are many a peril that may knock you off. In all honesty, this boss is lightly tuned, and there are some hidden power-ups below the water to help you return to the platform.
Turn it for fun. Gamora, anyádat, ezt újra dizájnolták.
Next off, you must face against Gamora, the fearsome turtle that's been swimming in the enchanted waters of the deeps for a long, long time.
Azért, hogy pont nemrég voltam
exposure to
itt.
these energies has granted her both power and size, but most importantly, she's now protected by a magical barrier that protects her against almost any attack. Break through this barrier and start blasting for massive damage. Get your orange parse. All this commotion will bring you to the attention of Lady Saraves, a powerful and reckless Naga sea witch who commands a legion of Black Fathom elite in Myrmidons. She is a formidable foe that will overwhelm you unless you find a way to turn her own spells against her and her minions. These three bosses round out the prologue of Black Fathom Deeps, and all three are available to fight in our demo in Hall D. Check it out.
No. Sneak peek.
And that's not it. Witness the corruption of Gelihast and take on the march of the Void Murlocs.
Gelihast.
Break past Lorgus Jet's magical barriers and corrupted totems. Conquer your dreams as you challenge Twilight Lord Kelris. And good luck against the giant Void Hydra. Seriously, you're going to need it.
Innen esett amúgy a fegyverem, srácok. A dupla bankályos fegyverem, Gecel, Tesszájga. Ott a fegyverem, bazd meg, nem?
Now, telling you all this is great,
Phantom
but I
Blade.
think we'd rather just show you. So it is my pleasure to provide a quick sneak peek video of the raid, edited by the team itself, as though it was pulled straight from a community website in 2005. Please take a look.
Most valami videó jön a raidről, vagyis a helyről. De ez egy régi videó, 2005-ös. Még a grafika ugyanilyen lesz. elég komolyan hangzik amúgy, azt hogy mondjam. Ez nem is 2005-ös a kurva nénikéteket. Ott volt a metamorfózisos. Ott a metamorfózis tankember. Nagyon OP-n néz ki, bro. Úgy néz ki az a Warlock, dude. Az mi volt ez a bubi, te fasz?
Well, that's it for today, guys. We're looking forward to. Oh, okay. That shouldn't be here. Okay. That should definitely. Okay. Sorry. We should have. Okay. Oops. That's it for today. On behalf of the Classic team, and as Anna mentioned at the top, nothing that we do in WoW Classic would be possible without all of your support and your voice. Thank you so much for making the dream of WoW Classic and all the experiences we're working on a reality.
Ez igen. Ezt értem. It's okay.
We can't wait to see what else we have in store for the future. We can't wait for you to see. So please stay tuned for Hearthstone, what's next, coming up right after this.
Yeah.
And we hope you have enjoyed this look ahead at what's next for WoW Classic. I want to reiterate, this is just a taste of all that you're going to uncover in Season of Discovery. And for those of you here at BlizzCon, we hope you get to take on the first 3 bosses of our Black Fathom Deeps raid on the show floor. And for everyone else, we're so excited for you to experience it when Season of Discovery launches worldwide in just a few short weeks on November 30th.
November 30 és jön ez a cucc.
Thank you, everyone.
Remélem, hogy tetszett a videó. Ha szeretnél további tartalmat, akkor iratkozz fel, és ha gondolod, gyere a Discord szerverünkre, ahol már elég sokan vagyunk, és ott megosztok mindenféle eseményeket. Discordhoz a linket a leírásban megtalálod, valamint van TikTokom, ahol már 500 plusz videó között böngészhetsz, és ugye élőben is szoktam közvetíteni a Twitchen, ott is várnak szívesen rendszeres streammel, úgyhogy gyertek nyugodtan. Köszönjük, hogy megnézted a videót, legközelebb találkozunk hétfőn. Peace.